I was raised to be a leader, whatever that meant, and to use my skills and abilities, such as they are, to contribute back to community.
I came to Canada as an immigrant because I want my kids to live in a democracy country, which they have the freedom to speak their mind.
Yeah.
Poppies. If ye break faith, shall not sleep.
McCrae?
In Flanders fields.
Some days I almost give up. But I cannot contain my imagination. I made Anne real.
You've been living in the States for quite a few years now. Do you still retain any affection for Canada?
I worked for a long time to get my green card. So people say to me, when are you going to become a citizen? You know, an American citizen. And I just can't even think of it. You know, I'm a Canadian. My parents are Canadian, my family's Canadian. I'm proud to be part of the country.
Not just building a railroad, gentlemen! We are building a country!
That in Canada, we have a right to live in freedom together, to defend freedom together, to debate ideas.
Our family moved to Toronto in the early 70s, and so began a wonderful journey of growing up, of friendships, of adventures, of teachers, of coaches, in a place, in a culture I am forever grateful for. Tobogganing, go-karts, chestnut fights, and hockey. Max Milk, Lola's, Ton o' Gum, Canadian Tire for supplies, hockey equipment. Eating rhubarb, peaches, cherries, snowball fights, neighborhood hide-and-go-seek, trick-or-treating, and forts. Thank you, Canada.
And thankful to live in a wonderful country like Canada, and happy to try and make it better each and every day. God bless you and God bless Canada. Thanks so much.
Mission ship on fire. Stop train. Please, God, answer. Coleman, there's no time. The train's coming towards Pier 6. I've got to warn you. Come on, Vince, come on. There are 700 people aboard it. I've got to stop it. Come on, acknowledge.
July 1st is the 150th anniversary of the British North American Act, or BNA. The BNA is Canada's DNA. It transformed 650 years of British parliamentary democracy designed for a small island in the old world into a vast new federation in the new one. It needed no high-minded ideals about rights and freedoms because it was understood that Canadians would inherit the great freedoms of the Magna Carta.
But I kept speaking out, and I'm still speaking out because this is much greater than me.
It's a question of pride. You want to be proud to be a Canadian. In terms of human wealth of our everyday living, we can compete with the world. And I think that's what our generation has got to do.
I immigrated to Calgary Forest Lawn when I was 5 years old. I am forever grateful to my parents who sacrificed so much. My mom worked multiple jobs and my dad worked hard as a taxi driver to provide for my siblings and I. This great country provided my family and I the opportunities to succeed, and we are so grateful for that.
My creed as a Canadian is summed up in these words. I am a Canadian, a free Canadian, free to speak without fear, free to worship God in my own way, free to stand for what I think right, free to oppose what I believe wrong, free to choose those who shall govern my country. This heritage of freedom I pledge to uphold for myself and all mankind, for I am a Canadian.
Weapons or anything on you, sir?
Weapon? No weapon. Only
anything on you that's
only
gonna
my
hurt
words.
me or anything like that?
Sorry?
Anything on you that's going to hurt me or anything like that?
No, anything will hurt you. Only my words, only my philosophy, only what I believe in.
Okay. All right, come on over this way.
I'm curious to know, is that always how you saw the world and how you saw politics, or has this kind of been have you grown into the views that you hold now?
Well, the views changed like everybody else, but I was never one to be quiet if I saw something wrong. I was never one to be just to go with the crowd, just for the sake of it. It was always, my dad always taught me, always try to be good men.
And people have asked me, and I've always said, that's the part of our democracy, is that's your responsibility to be engaged.
I want the country that I grew up in to be here for my children. And I was very concerned in the last few years, the last 5 years, I've seen this country take a turn. I've seen the diminishment of the Canadian dream, Max, and I want that dream for you. I want you to have a future that I had, Max. I am proud to be a Canadian.
I'm optimistic about what can be done if enough Canadians decide they want to do it.
People are being lured to sleep, but the Bible tells us that we're to be like watchmen, to sound the trumpet and warn the people of what's coming. And so, but ultimately, of course, we want to make sure that we have the liberty to preach the gospel of Jesus Christ, which is the way of salvation, but also to protect our rights and to let the people know.
Today, I set aside my own ambition and my pride, and I take the steps necessary to ensure the future of this great nation.